What? Just say. Hello, welcome to CCBK, or Creative Crafting by Katie. Um, Hour maybe. Sorry about that. We got real life going on over here, folks, all the time. All the time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in and say hello, please. We're going to be working with my molded wood. Molded wood is a wood-based product that's bendable, flexible, and becomes a wonderful crafting um, embellishment. You're gonna want this for everything, you my friends, my friends, my friends. I do a lot of this over on Facebook on Mondays. I do Mold It Mondays, but I'm gonna be spending a lot of time over here on YouTube introducing this product line to everybody and showing you guys how it works and molding up things and um, all the fun stuff that goes along with that. Okay, so I have some molds that I want to show you tonight. They're all silicone molds. Hey Diane, welcome. If you guys don't already subscribe to me, make sure you hit that subscribe button, please. And I do have some other videos here if you're trying to learn how to do the molded wood. I have other videos on here that you can also watch. Um, I'm going to do some of these molds, and I call these moldings in here. And then I do silicone or other molds that are straight up molds. Okay, so I do moldings and then the other molds. That's kind of how I differentiate between the two of them. Um, so so you guys know, I'm gonna put you down here so you guys can see a little bit better. You're not gonna see me as much as you're gonna see the product or projects. Okay, and I'm gonna hone in here as close as I can for y'all. I'm not gonna see his comments necessarily as much. This molded wood comes in a tub like this. It does have a sticker on it, but I don't need a sticker. I know what it is. So I don't waste the sticker on my own tubs. And it also comes inside this sealed up bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mold up a little bit of this here. These are butterflies, dragonflies. They are super, super, very detailed silicone molds from Hobby Lobby. If you go to Hobby Lobby, they generally have them on sale, 40% off. Every 2 to 3 weeks. $5.99 is the price that I paid for them prior to the 40% off. Okay. There is 12 different molds on here on this one sheet, and it's called butterflies, but I honestly think that you could get away with a dragonfly on a couple of these. That's why I said dragonfly. So basically what you do is you take this product here that I've made up, you open it all up, and if you don't want any of the residue to get on your fingers, you can wear a pair of gloves. You can use wax paper in between your finger and pushing in the impression of the molded wood into the impression of the mold. Or even those pink fingers from Dollar Tree work if you want those silicone fingers. I get in with the nitty gritty, y'all. Just get in there and do it, is how I feel. So this is how the consistency looks. It sometimes might feel a little bit more crumbly. That just is based off of the wood that's in there. Okay. Don't worry about it. If it is, push it back together. Okay. It's simple as that. See how I just dropped a piece off of there? It's not a problem. All you have to do is just take it and put it back together and squish it back together. Um, and that's as easy as that. This is a great mold. Okay. This is the first time I've used this mold, but I'm going to explain to you why I think this is a great mold. First of all, it's flexible, but it's also stiff. And then this outer edge along here actually is hard. So I can actually take my finger and I can push it into the impression, but I can also use that as a way to pull it back like that with my finger and remove anything excess and get it flatter on the surface. Okay. I forgot to put a description. I cannot believe this. I will have to see if I can go back and add a description to this. That was so silly of me to not put a description. See how you got a couple pieces of crumble here? Don't worry about it. Just pick it up and put it back. It will happen as you're working with the product. So these are going to be really fun embellishments to put on just different summer's projects. You can also take a putty knife and lay it flat on the surface and scrape it back. Get it on the right side. And then it'll scrape off your excess. And then you can put that in a mold. Use it for another mold. Okay. So it goes a really long way. These remain bendable and flexible, and you don't have to worry about heating them up before you actually use the application. You want to put it on the project and it bends, go for it. Go for it. It's going to work. So if you want to put it on a round surface, you're able to do that. Obviously, you need to use the proper adhesion for whatever surface you're using, but it will work. And you might have to tape it because it's a round surface. Gravity will take over. Like anything else that you would put on there, it would take over and not want to stay on there. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. So I'm going to do all 12 of these mold impressions because I cannot wait to take a look at them tomorrow. Tomorrow is my Mold It Monday on Facebook. My page is CCBK, Creative Crafting by Katie. I started a new page over there because the platform sucks. And so we are now coming over to YouTube, and this is where we're going to do a lot of our stuff. I will use Facebook for marketing my Mold-A-Wood, and we will go from there. So if you're new to Mold-A-Wood, could you please let me know that in the comments? If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments. And then these paint up really nice with acrylic paints, chalk paints, whatever crafting paint you use, it works, okay? If it's a cheaper paint, you might need more than one coat. If you normally have to craft or paint your craft with more than one coat, that's a good rule of thumb. But otherwise, one coat should suffice. But anyways. So, what you guys been up to today? Anything good?
Basket broke.
Yeah, no, hon, it was already breaking, so that one's just going to go out into the garbage. If there's no way to be able to hold it on, hold on to it. Yeah. What?
Not on both like that.
Okay. Then we'll just get rid of it. I'm over
Is
this.
this the fan that's I'm getting?
Yes, honey. We keep it real over here, folks. We keep it real. We have real life in our home. I know, we're like real people. So I like to keep it real. I like you guys into my personal life. You guys can ask questions, and yeah, that's what we do over here in our house. Happy Father's Day to anybody out there that is a father or a father figure, a godfather, a grandfather. Uncles can be fathers, right? Because they might not have kids of their own, but there's a lot of people that step up and help out in raising children. So you have to know that they don't have to have their own child to count. See how quick and easy this is? Wait about 24 hours for these to adhere or cure up, inside this mold. Do not put anything in the mold prior. Do not put no cornstarch, no powder, no nothing. Please. Just straight up in the mold, and it will come out nicely. Make sure you let it cure, which is drying. It's setting up, and it's going to grab a hold of that impression like you would not believe. I honestly don't even have anything with me to unmold. Can you believe that? I cannot believe that I didn't bring anything to unmold, but I do have some. I don't want to show those. Those are my surprise. I do have this 3D mold that I did the other day. I did this, and this will be unmolded tomorrow, and we won't paint it, but we'll be working on that for a craft project in the future. Okay, so I want to come in here. I'm looking to do a couple of these particular molds like right here. These two here, I want to get more of them made up. for my own personal use when I craft. See how it gets a little crumbly in there? Just go ahead and like smush it back together. Like it's good to go. So just take it and push it into the silicone mold. We want to make sure that we're getting it firmly pressed all the way in there. We have to make sure that we're grabbing that impression, and that impression goes all the way to the bottom. So make sure you're good and inside there. Okay. Please make sure you let your friends know about this. If you are not in the market for something like this, but maybe you have a craft friend that is, please let them know about me and have them come over and take a look and subscribe. There is a less than 5-minute video on my page here that will teach you the ins and the outs of this real quick on how to mold, unmold, paint, and put on a project. You know, those kind of things. There's a couple different videos here on all of that fun stuff. I like this particular one I'm molding right now. Is it really looks cool to use as the leg of like a chicken, or I did it on a flamingo and it turned out super cute. It's just kind of thin and kind of a little bit knotty and knobby, like these animals' legs can be. You know, they have that like bend. And I'm not an animal person, so I do not know animal parts. You know, every animal to me has feetsies. And even if it's not feet, it's, you know, it's feet to me. So know that. I am no animal expert at all. I get made fun of it quite a bit. And that's okay. I don't mind. I can take the heat. All right. After you scrape it off like that, I like to come back and push it back down. For one, it will smooth out the backside here in case you have like skid marks on there from the scraper. And it just helps get that silicone mold impression back in there. This is the residue I'm talking about. Just wipe it off with a baby wipe or a wet rag. And that way you don't have to get up or leave your craft area, because I'm sure most of us do not craft with a sink next to us. But it's kind of like paint. Paint gets on your fingers and you have to wipe it off. This is the same idea. So just roll with it and know that you can get it right off, and then just wash up with soap and water when you're finished. It's a very easy cleanup. Okay, so I like to lay them flat, put them off to the side, lay them flat, and let them cure overnight. Or tomorrow, I'll be doing my molded wood sometime on Mold It Monday on my Facebook. And with that being said, then some of these I will see whether they're ready or not. And because I've worked with the product enough, I can tell the difference between something that's here. This one actually looks a little bit moist still right in here. Maybe it's because I had them on top of each other. This one here, you can feel that it's dry. This one here in the middle area, you can tell that it's not as dry. So you'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to touch it. You'll be able to know that it feels more cured. Even if the inside or the impression part that's in the impression isn't necessarily dry, as long as it's not cracking on you, which is something you really don't want to happen, but don't worry if it does. It will go back pretty seamlessly, as far as put a little glue there and hold it tight, and you more than likely will not even know where that crack or seam was that broke. Okay. So please don't get scared about anything like that. You're going to learn, and the more you learn how to use this, the more addicting it's going to become. And when I say that, I mean that wholeheartedly. I have got so many people that they have purchased from me multiple times, and they're not buying just a tub anymore. They're buying 2 and 3 at a time. So I do ship throughout the United States, and I do ship to Canada, some places in Europe. So if you want to go on to my website, which is creativecraftingbykatie.com, you can get the the countries that I go to are listed there in the drop down when you go to checkout. This one is quite thick, and it's a little bit more challenging to get the mold. This one's a newer mold. Sometimes the newer molds, they have a little bit of a time where they want to kind of pop out, because these sides are soft. I was saying on that, they're hard. These sides here are soft. And if you see, I'm bending that area there. And that's what gives me the problem because I don't have something stiff to kind of help keep it in place. And if you notice there, that's a crack, right? Well, that's because I haven't finished putting it down. But that could happen if you didn't lay it flat. And that's okay. Again, you can just seam it back together. It's not going to hurt anything. You could do this on furniture with some tight bond or any good wood glue that you would use to adhere a wood applique to a piece of furniture. These are not the biggest molds, and you get your own molds. So you can look around and see what you can find. I do have a one here that's a little bit bigger that I'm going to possibly mold up again. But this one here, because it's a little mushy, I call it, I like to hold my hand here like this and help scrape it back because I don't really want it to come out. See how that came out right there? Because one, I probably didn't have it pushed in good enough. But two, there's these there's a way you could do this to make it look a little bit lacy. And you could just put it into the impressioned area that was there. And I have done it before. It's very, very difficult on this particular one. You're just better off going and getting a lace mold from Amazon. And if you haven't seen me do the lace molds, why, you need to see me do the lace molds. I am in love with this product in a thin lace mold that's more like a fondant mold. It's incredible how awesome it turns out. But we don't show everything on these lives. You do have to keep coming back to check it all out. But that's how you learn, is by watching and seeing all the different ways this product can be used and all the different kinds of molds you can put it in. This one we're going back to here. These darker gray ones I really do like. A lot of them are like a Prima, is the brand name, redesigned by Prima. I do like them because they have the stiff sides. And it just helps me get my impression in the mold so much easier. And it stays true to the mold. I want to get all my little pieces here. Don't let any of this go to waste. This is all good stuff. It's all good stuff. Okay. If you're watching this on a replay, please say hi, make a comment. Let me know if it's something you've tried before or if you are interested in trying. If you have any questions, if you're on the fence about it, you're not too sure, completely understand. I would probably refer you to some of the Facebook stuff that I've got so that you can see all of my customers and fellow crafter friends that have used this product and how much they love it. That's the what I wanted to do in there. I have done this mermaid one too. I don't think I'm going to do this mermaid one tonight though. I was going to do it, but I think I've decided not to do it. Okay, I'm going to come back here to my other. I think I will do this here though. This one looks like a rope, and it's really fun if you got something nautical going on. I do like it for that purpose because it kind of looks like a rope when you actually put it on something. I did a project with it, and it really just pulled it all together. And these I use around. I use them for a lot of different things, but a lot of times you can dress up a real plain frame, and you can frame this around the outside edge of the frames, and that kind of zhuzhes it all up for you. Or you could take a flat piece of wood or cardboard, and then you could use this to make a frame. And you usually need about 4 to 6 pieces of this, depending on the size frame that you're trying to make with it. Okay. You can wash your molds your silicone molds with soap and water. I don't wash my molds. I'm going to be quite honest with you. That's one thing that you will find out about me is I'm going to give it to you straightforward. There's no BS around here, folks. There's no time for that. And it's just not necessary. I don't have any reason or anything to hide. So that's entirely up to you guys if you want to do it. I've heard some of my customers say they put them in the dishwasher. No, thank you. I would not want to do that. I'm pretty finicky about my dishwasher and what goes in it. But anyways, so I have those. Again, we'll let them cure for about 24 hours and go from there. And then here's these fun appliques. I think this is a redesigned by Prima Mold. So we're going to fill these in. And then we'll have them ready. You just never know what you're going to want to do. I have a couple things here that I'm going to show you that I've made with molded wood. I did a trio of bird houses, and then I also did a teapot. It's going to give you guys a couple ideas of how exciting this stuff is, how cool it turns out. And it honestly it's extremely relaxing to do, to mold, and it's extremely easy to use this product. And it's just amazing what comes out and how well these things work. And so I will be able to show you how versatile it is without actually making the product with you, which I have done. I did one of them here on a live for YouTube, and the other two I did over on Facebook. So you can see the videos on how I put them all together using molded wood, but I'm just going to show you the finished project, and then you guys can decide from there if you want to go check out the videos. I have a group called Mold Wood on Facebook, mold-a-wood, Mold a Wood group. And I had a day where a bunch of us other creators got together and worked with this product and highlighted it in an event. See how I'm coming back and pushing it all down? And then it helps me know if I missed something by scraping it back like that. And then I see how all that I scraped back, I was able to fill in this area right here. I like to use the sides of the molds to help scrape the finger and keep it into the area that's got the impression. But as many different kinds of silicone molds that are out there, I use all different kinds of silicone molds, meaning fondant, cake decorating, those kinds of things. I don't get into the ones that are really like, I don't get into a lot of the resin ones because some of those are just a little too thick. You want to keep them enough so that the air can start to hit them. If you have something that's a couple inches thick or more, like a soap mold or a big resin mold, candle mold, those things can be too thick. And I'm talking thick like this, right? I keep them down a little bit because air is what cures these molds, okay? Is letting the air hit it. So if you have an area of your home, say it's really cold and damp, it could take a little bit longer to set up. If you live in an area where you keep your home nice and warm, or you want to take these out into the sun, I've put them out in the sun before, and that helps dry up the mold. So I just scraped that back, which gave me all of this area in here where it's just the raised portion of your mold. And I scraped it back, and it's giving me that area. You can also use a baby wipe if you want to get any thin residue off of there. But no worries, you can pick it off with your hand. And the most fantastic thing about this is this cuts with a pair of scissors. So if you need to trim anything off because it's too long, you can definitely do so simply with a pair of scissors. Okay. So those are some different molds that I thought would make we'd make up today, showing you guys how that all worked. Trying to see if that cracked. I'm not sure. I actually was kind of a little bit I'm a little bit loosey goosey with my stuff, meaning I'm not the most careful with how I keep it. I definitely don't store it nicely like you should. Just store it in a plastic container or a Ziploc bag or something like that. I just throw them all in a bin, and I'm always rustling through there, and I'm always doing something, because they're bendable and flexible. If you leave them like this, they're gonna stay like this till you're ready to glue it down. So if they don't remain flat, don't worry about it. As you glue it down, it will take its form again. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys the birdhouses that I did. Okay, I'm going to actually bring you back up here okay. So this birdhouse here, I'm going to point out everything on here that is molded wood. You guys are going to be amazed. This roof line, all of this burgundy here is all molded wood. My bird is molded wood. My picket fence is molded wood. And this vine on the top and sides of the roof lines all the way around is also molded wood. Do you guys see how it takes shape? It bends, it flexes, and it remains that way because I adhered it. Over here, I decided to let it go, hang off the side like that. Look at the picket fence. Look at the detail in the fence. The thin lines that are holding it together are thin lines that I pushed the molded wood into. Okay, that's one of them. Here's another one. Again, the bird, the rose, the roof line peak, the lace. This is my lacy mold I'm talking about. And this lace here on the sides are all molded wood. How cute is that? Oh, and the stick up here, the stick. The roof is shadowing it. I don't know if you could have seen that. If you notice the detail, even like on that bird, do you see all the bird feather? That's the detail in that. By painting it, how much it all comes together. And then here's another one that I did. So this here is molded wood, my flower, my butterfly. Look at the detail of the butterfly. Again, my lace roof line and my stick down here. And then I have another piece of a flower on the side. Those are all molded wood on all of those birdhouses. And I think they look really, really cute together in a trio here. So that's super, super fun. But I also want to show you my teapot. Look at my old vintage copper teapot. I'm sure you'll be able to guess what was on here is molded wood. The top, these here on top of this lid, are the same vine that I put on the side and roof line of that birdhouse. My applique in the front here. And my trim all the way around. This is one of my moldings that I didn't mold it up today, but this is several pieces. And as you can see, that's one of my seams. Not bad. Not bad at all. Here's another one of my seams. And that actually I probably could have even done better just by pushing it together. And then this seam here, you can barely even see it. I was in an event. I was under a time frame. So sometimes I get a little bit quick with it, but you can definitely cut it straight and adhere the two of them together just by simply squeezing them or pinching them together. But this project turned out absolutely stunning and took this old copper pot and just brought it to life. You could take an applique like this and actually do it on the other side too if you wanted, but I am just so pleased with that project as well. So that just shows you the versatility, how it will round on things and stick to different types of material. It's really fantastic, y'all, and I would love for you all to give this a try. Again, creativecraftingbykatie.com is my website, and just search molded wood. It's right there at it's the first item in the shop when you go into the shop area. Sometimes it's right there on the main page of the website as well. If you have any questions, please feel to reach out to me. You can leave a comment here. You can do all the things like that. And yeah, so we will see what these all turn out to be like on tomorrow if they are cured when I do my Mold It Monday, which is on Facebook under CCBK Creative Crafting by Katie. And I will have links and all that in the descriptions for it. Y'all have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye now.